I want to do is find myself in a arm position that allows me to separate his chest from my chest, and then understand what tools I have to help find that space. Okay, so at this point, my hands are behind him. He's connected, cross-face and underhook. He's chest to chest. He's got a lot of shoulder pressure in my jaw here, kind of turning my head away. So in this position, he's doing a really good job pinning me, and it's hard for me to escape. So I have to find ways to get him off of me, get his chest off of me, my chest, his shoulder off of my face. So if my arms are completely behind him, I need to try to get my elbow wedged back in his hip a little bit, okay? So I can take this arm and hook it behind his head, and I'm bringing my hand towards his shoulder here. And my elbow, the crook of my elbow is just kind of like right in his head. I'll flare my elbow out a little bit like that, turning his head out of neutral. From here, I'm gonna bridge just slightly and move his head with my arm and use my bridge to create some space and help me move his head to this side of my head. When I do that, at the same time, I'm gonna try to get this elbow wedged, okay? I move my hips out slightly. Once I move my hips out, I'm gonna try to make knee-elbow connection. So my shin is framed across his belt. Sometimes I might leave this arm here, and sometimes I might swivel it over, post on his shoulder, and frame the neck. Okay. At this point, I'm going to start trying to create some separation. So I'm going to push away. If he's still connecting my head, I'm going to try to bring this hand inside and push his shoulder away. Getting two arms on his shoulder and his bicep. I'm going to shoot my hips away again, shoulder away, hip, shoulder, knee to elbow connection, feet to the hips. Now I can decide if I want to play an open guard or if I want to pull him in and establish closed guard. Okay. So he's got standard side control pinning me. Bring it in. This elbow is out. This arm is not framed, so I'm in a bad spot. I'm working to get my arms in a more leveraged position. So you're going to bridge, step on the mat, lift your hips, bridge. And then this arm is going to reach over here across his shoulder, moving his head. I'm going to get my elbow back and move my hips away and bring my knee back towards my elbow. Now again, if I have some space here, then I'm going to bring this arm back across in front. I'll bring this arm inside, disconnect him from my head, shrimp one more time, move my shoulder. If I have enough space, bring my knee to my elbow, feet to the hips. I can grab his sleeve and collar here, and I can start to work to attack a sweep or a submission, or I can simply just pull him into my closed guard. Any questions? I need to see that again. Once you. I want to give you one small detail, guys. Notice how when I bridge, I drape my leg over his knee. I'm always kind of playing with this position a little bit, because if I stay here when I bridge, he can go to knee on belly. You see? Again. So when I bridge, I like to take a position like a little bit over his leg so that I'm blocking his knee. So right when I bridge, my hips are coming up over his leg. And now he can't just slide his knee on my belly. It's a little detail, but it's important. I'm always jockeying for that position. Because if I just stay like this, even right here before I bridge, he can go to knee on belly. And he's pinning me even more. Okay? So I like to kind of step my leg so that my hamstring and the bottom of my glute is right over his knee. And I bridge, shrimp, knee elbow connection. Right here, I don't need a rush or anything. Because when if he starts moving around, okay? Go. Can't go anywhere. Can't gain ground on me here. Because I have my frame here in his hip, my little gooseneck, my shin across, and look at my ankle. It's just kind of like flex right there on his hip. Okay, so now I'm shrimping away, moving my shoulders. But this time he's not giving me the space to bring my arms inside and disconnect. Okay? If I can disconnect here, I can just keep going away as far as I want and bring my feet in. And then if he leaves this arm here, I can go right into a shoulder lock attack here. I could go into a triangle. So it's not going to be good for him to leave that arm there. So this time, I'm trying to like move, like drive my shin in. And that's important, guys. I'm not just like moving my hips away. Look at my shin. My right shin is like pushing him away. Okay, I'm using the strength of my leg and hip, but I didn't have the space this time to get this arm back inside. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is just hold his arm here. Okay, as I push him away with my leg, I'm going to start sliding my foot to the floor, my right foot. Now I have my shin blocking his leg. Okay, I don't want my foot off the floor. Drive your knee in. Now I'm stuck. When I put my foot on the floor, drive your knee in. You can't move it. Now I shrimp. 1, 2, 3 more times. Bring my left leg over his hip. Right leg swings out to connect to closed guard. The reason I changed from going in front of his arm with my knee to behind his arm again was because he was connected to my head. You guys understand? If I can get here, there's no reason. I see people do this. It's like you're blocking yourself. Go here. But if I get here and he reaches for my head, okay, now I drive my shin into his leg, scoot my hips, put my foot on the floor, scoot him again, and connect to the closed guard. But I'm holding his arm. Don't let go of the arm. You don't want them to change their mind. Once they grab my head, if I just do this with my arm, and I get to here, he's like, I don't like that. He's going to go back and pin this leg again, and now I can't get it out. So once I start making my decision that I'm going behind the arm, I got to keep the arm up here. I don't want him to change his mind. Pull your arm back, change your mind. He can't. Then I can go right into another attack on that arm. Again, like I always tell you guys, I like my escapes to lead right into my attacks. Let's try it out. 1, 2. This mistake. Okay? Right here. Her foot is not on the mat. She's jammed. She can no longer drive through her hip to create space because her heel is stuck to her butt. And this is critical for if you want to ever play butterfly guard as well. You don't have any power anymore when your heel's in your butt, okay? You're at end range of motion in the hip. So let's say you took a significant amount of weight, put it on your back, and squatted to here. Like, of course, like some people can squat a lot of weight here, but that's the weakest part of the squat, is like if your hip is bottomed out, okay? Same here, okay? Okay, I didn't need you to move. You just did it. Thank you. Did you need a break? Okay. All right, thank you. She can't move anymore, okay? So, put your leg back on the other side. Right there, freeze. Before we start moving that leg across, we drive our shin and our knee into their body to create some space. Okay, so like basically pushing them away. Have your, can you bring your knee into the hip over here instead of down on the floor? The right knee? The left knee, I mean? Yes. You see how it was dropped before? Now she can step on the mat because she has some purchase on the leg here with her knee. Now she can step on the mat. Okay, freeze. Martha, drive her heel to her butt, and Maggie, don't let her. Put your foot on the floor. Step on the floor. Okay? You see the difference? Okay, from here, now, throw your right leg over, start shrimping out this way. Shrimp, shrimp, shrimp. See? Yes. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting jammed up. Okay, so you have to keep that distance of your heel and your butt. Dakota, watch this. Okay, look at my hand, posted on the hip. I'm going to relax a little bit, drive in. Game over. Okay, not game over really, but like it's so hard here. At this point, he's just going to kind of like either walk back around my hip by like, sometimes he'll have to let go, but sometimes he'll just like sprawl a little bit and then come back around like this. Okay, so if I stay here, you see the difference? My heel is away from my butt. Okay, and now I can, if I need to, I can open this knee a little bit with my hand. Okay, and when I go to bring my foot across, I drive. Okay, go back. Okay, I don't just like try to drop my leg. I drive like that and step on the floor, drive in. You see? Can't. Drive in. Done. Okay, let's go back. The last thing I'll introduce is this. If you feel like you get here and you're having trouble getting your foot down, it feels like this foot is stuck. And even though you drove like away like this, that's when we start introducing this leg here. You can do one of two things. It can overhook, see? Overhook, and you can pull yourself through. Let's go back, because you get extra leverage there. Or it can go in as a butterfly hook under, and you can push the leg away and bring your leg through. Okay? Now, if I wanted to, I can kick up and go into a sweep, or I can simply recover guard. Let's go back, let's fix those details, and let's add the option with the trail leg. Again, sometimes it'll go over and sometimes under based on his posture. Okay? If he could hide it, bring your heel in. Can't grab it. Okay, no problem. Watch this, a little scoot, and then inside. If the heel's out, you can reach over and grab it. If you're taller, some people will reach over here and grab this hip with the heel. Okay? So 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2. A lot of times I'm going to be here, but I just want you guys to understand you can have leverage here too. I don't really want to be here. Some people accept this too much, I feel like, because they're like good at escaping here. Nobody in particular. It's not Jake for sure. It's not Dakota either. So some people just like to hug here. And so I think this is like secondary position to this. I think this is better, okay? But here, like, we have to accept sometimes we get here. As the guard's getting passed is the ultimate time. Like, right when you recognize the guard's getting passed, that's where you need to be like setting up your arms, okay? Well, we have to recognize that sometimes we get in a bad spot. So we bridge, get this elbow in, hip out, knee-elbow connection. What I'm seeing here is that people are squaring their hips with their legs still, shin still across, like this. Okay, hold. Okay. You see what I'm saying? That's not where I want to be. It's where I'm going to be stuck. Okay? This is a position of one of my favorite guard passes right here. Ultimately, he is going to get this arm back. He's going to bring it back down onto the leg. Here, let's go here. And he's going to pass again. Okay? Let's go back. So, when I get my knee and elbow together, here, that's where you start stretching. You see that shrimp and shoulder walk. It doesn't take a lot of strength, driving. I drive my knee away as I'm moving away, creating space. With that space, I bring my foot down only because my knee is still wedged right there in the hip. Go back. Don't do this. Okay, now I'm flat on my back. I don't have the same leverage because I can't move my hips away. Look, open, open, open. Now I can bring the leg down and across. Again, I like to bring this in a lot of times because I can keep them open, you see? But you don't have to, all right? You open them up, bring this leg across, foot on the floor, shrimp, and recover. The foot on the floor is a big detail. Questions on that? Guard recovery. All right, we're gonna switch gears. Guard recovery, or not guard recovery, but escape from side control. We're gonna turn to our knees. Okay, so this time, I'm gonna bridge, move his head, bring my arm back, okay? Was not able to get my knee across. Because I can't get my knee across, I'm gonna take a different path out of here. I'm gonna bridge, stomp on the floor, bridge, and then once I bridge here, I'm gonna start getting my elbow under his armpit. Okay? Bridge, elbow to the armpit. That's a little wedge in there that I can use to now get my arm under his arm. Leg scissors. And turn to his legs here. Okay. So again, step on the floor, bridge, elbow right into the underneath the shoulder and the armpit. Swivel the arm under, I'll bridge one more time and then leg scissors. Right down to the single leg. If he doesn't establish an overhook, I'll go behind him, okay? If he establishes an overhook, the first thing I'll look for is to drive into him, grab his far knee and ankle, and put him on his shoulder. Keeping that ankle until I pass the guard. Questions there, guys? That makes sense? 1, 2. Hold the back, you're going to pull their weight on top of you, and you're not going to be able to get up. Also, you're going to get mounted. So if Dakota gets the underhook on me, he gets the underhook, and he tries to come up just holding my back, keep your hand on my back and come up, I'm just going to mount. Okay, he's giving me too much access between this elbow and this knee. He's opening up a gap here. So again, if he holds my back when he turns here, I'm just gonna mount. Okay, so when he bumps me, he wants to let go of my back and go right to my leg. So once he gets this underhook, he gives me a bump, but watch when he bridges, he's gonna flare his elbow. So it kind of like sends me forward, sends this arm forward a little bit. Okay, so bridge into me and flare your elbow, boom, right there. You see how he let go immediately and went to my leg? All right, that gets my weight off of him and also allows him to turn more efficiently. Grab my leg, come up with a single leg freeze. His head's in front here. Okay, some of you guys are just doing like this and sitting up. So if that happens, he could come up and body lock, come up and freeze, or come back down. He could grab this leg and then he could do just a circle this way a little bit and then double leg, just double leg, yes. But the person's likely, when you get here, going to try to overhook and try to start sprawling. Okay, so if this knee is still close enough, he's just going to grab this knee, grab my ankle, okay, and he's going to drive his shoulder into my hip so that my right knee ends up right by my left knee. I drop down to my hip. He keeps driving with his head, and that puts my back on the mat. There's different options, guys. I can't teach you guys all single leg finishes today, all right? It's not the idea, but sometimes he might decide to step over my leg here, okay, and just keep working his way behind me. And that's going to cause me problems with staying square to him. He can start to finish, running around my hips behind me. Questions on that, guys? So give that little bump. Remember, you have to get the frame first. We can't go to the underhook here. You have to bump, get your frame, okay? Bump again, get your elbow under. All right, swivel your arm under, bump one more time. Here, get that single leg, and now he can go behind me because I don't have an overhook. Let's try it again, guys. 1, 2. You have trouble because they're a little bit high on you. Okay, if somebody's a little bit high on you, it's further distance for your knee to get all the way to your elbow. But the higher they are, the closer your arms are to their legs. You guys understand? Like, that's why a lot of times I'm like, oh, they're playing kind of a high side control. Their legs are closer to my arms. I'm going to slip that underhook in there. One of the ways I make my decision, if his legs are higher up here, you see? So where his head and his legs are typically going to be in one of 3 positions, like exactly perpendicular, okay? Legs lower, head higher, okay? Well, if the legs are lower and the head's higher, it's easier to kind of move his head over here. Look at my knee to my elbow, right? Because the hips are down there. Sometimes they go higher, and that's further. It's like further for me to get. Okay, come back down. One thing I didn't mention earlier, sometimes even when I get in here, if I get this disconnection here, I might also try to get me an elbow on this side, like a knee shield. Okay, and then work from there. I don't always, leave this behind. You can get more leverage with like a little high knee shield here. It's like I have a double inside position here. I have a good inside position. And now I can step on the hip. Okay. Again, he was lower on me. But this time, I do a good job starting to get to my knees, get to the single leg, but he kind of starts to sprawl a little bit. I don't feel like I have a good finish option. Okay, so now he's offered us another chance to get back to guard. So I bridge, I raise my elbow. Watch how I lift my elbow to lift his head a little bit, like this. Okay? Slip this elbow under, bump. I start going to this single leg. He starts to sprawl. All right? I'm in this little battle, sprawl a little bit. I'm in this little battle trying to finish. I'm having trouble. I'm going to slide my knee to his knee here. Step over and collect his leg here in the half guard. Okay? Well, if he stays high on his hands, I can still come out the back. But if I start coming out the back and he starts to rock back to defend, I can go back to the guard. So as he addresses my escape, I adjust. So again, I'm just trying to get to the single leg, but a failed single leg can be a way to get to half guard, and a half guard gets you to the guard. Okay. You see that? I just collect his leg there. Okay. And now, I can go into a sweeping system here. I can come up here with his leg, or I can just start working my way back to the guard. You can go just to the ankle, or you can collect the entire knee. Okay. Sprawls, look. You see how I slid my knee in front of his knee? Collect his leg here, and now I have half guard. Knee shield comes in, open my chest, back to guard. You'll see how I brought the knee shield in to create some more distance to help me get back to guard. So when he sprawls, if I bring my knee in front of his knee or under his leg, it'll give me the half guard. And then if I go down by his ankle, it'll give me the quarter guard. And you still have a good underhook to work to a lot of sweeping options. Last chance, last one. See that? Just pull him in, glide, here, step, heel. Sit, your knee shield, step on the hip, and guard. So I've used going to my knees to open up space to get back to guard. 1, 2. Couple reps there, guys. They're like really fast on their response when I turn to the leg. It actually almost makes it easier for me. So I do what's called, like what I refer to melting back. So again, I use my frames and my bridge to be able to establish an underhook. Okay, I bridge him forward, and I turn and he sprawls aggressively. I just literally melt back. And so I sense that. Like, as soon as I turn, he shoots back. I didn't even really have the ability and the timing to grab his leg. No problem. I just keep my forehead glued to the floor and then move it in a circular pattern away. So I'm like this, and I feel like he moved away initially, quicker than I could grab his leg. So I just kind of bring this knee to my elbow. So I did that. I just bring this knee in, and then let my head go back as my foot comes out to establish guard. So again, this could just be off a missed shot or side control escape to the leg. The important thing there is, don't try to do this, because their back is going to be on your, their chest is going to be on your back. The other thing is, like if you're drilling, don't do that fast, because a lot of times people will kind of just chill over you. And do this and smack them right in the mouth or the chin with your back of your head. It's not good live or drilling. Just go like this. And there's that movement drill you can do on your own. I could have just shot him, Dakota. Here, he starts to sprawl. Here, I just fall back to guard. I just saw him melting. You just like kind of. The reason I say melting is because it's like if something melts, it just stays on the floor. The most common reaction when people are trying that and they do it incorrectly is they lift up, and that leads to a guillotine or a front headlock. If I do this, and then I try to lift up to go back, he just front headlocks me. Now I'm a bit stuck. If I go like this, and I keep this elbow in, look at my right elbow. Okay? He goes to front headlock, and I'm just melting back. See? Right there. Something that you can practice another day, but that's